What started as a group tour company 50 years ago has grown over the years into not just a travel agency, but a full travel company covering all of the different ways of discovering the world around us. Join me as I pay a visit to Witte Travel to meet with the owner Nate and his staff.
Europe has been our specialty from the beginning, so we know Europe inside and out. I think in West Michigan we're known as the European tour operator, so we do a lot of Europe. But really, we have travelers all over all 7 continents. We have travelers even in Antarctica, which is kind of a destination that's coming up. So all 7 continents. And the good thing is we have partners all over the world. So wherever we send our clients, they'll be in good hands once they get there.
People love Europe, right? But what about off the beaten path? I mean, I think people come to you because you know the stuff that people don't know.
Right, and right now, off the beaten path is really popular because we hear so much about over-tourism in places like Rome and Venice and Amsterdam and all the big cities. So people are looking to venture out a little further. And instead of going to Paris, they're opting for places like Lyon or Provence or the French countryside, just, to get out of those big cities. And while those are popular, river cruising remains popular. Croatia, we're seeing a resurgence in Asia and African safaris. Just about everywhere.
I love that you're taking people away from Paris, but staying in France.
Right.
I love that, because people remember that tea we had in the French countryside. Well, you can't say that unless you go to the French countryside, right, to do that. And that's what you guys specialize in, is making those memories.
Absolutely. Yes. Multi-generational travel is one of the biggest niches out there right now. So that's when grandma and grandpa take their grown kids, their grandkids, sometimes even their great-grandkids, and they all vacation together. And we've seen some people do big bucket list trips like African safaris, Alaska cruise tours, heading to Europe to trace their family heritage. More commonly, we see Caribbean cruises, Mexico, Florida beaches, Hawaii, theme parks. The destination's really not the main focus. It's spending time together, having the shared experiences, and making lifetime memories.
Mindy Miller is the director of sales here at Witte Travel, and she's only been here 7 years. I say only because most people who are here have been here for decades, it feels like, right?
Yeah, we're regularly celebrating 30, 25, 20-year anniversaries, so we're lucky to have a long-tenured staff.
And they know their stuff. And not speaking of numbers, the company as a whole is celebrating a big milestone.
We are. August 5th is our 50th anniversary, but we're scheduling events all year long in 2025. We're really excited. The anniversary is going to focus mainly on saying thank you to our clients and the community, as well as our staff. So we've got events planned all year. There'll be giveaways. There's going to be something called Witte Fest, which is a client appreciation party in the parking lot. Food trucks, games, giveaways. There'll be a lot going on social media. So something to think about tuning into to see if maybe there's something free you can win.
And Nate and Shelley, we were talking to earlier about travel in general and where people are going. But as travel as a medicine, a method of release, why is it important? Why do people do this?
I mean, there are as many reasons as there are travelers, right? But we're seeing big trends with family heritage trips, especially coming out of COVID. I think people crave a connection. On the group side of things, we see lots of people traveling for spiritual reasons. So visiting the Holy Land when it's appropriate to do so, but in the meantime, following in the footsteps of the Apostle Paul. Bands, choirs, and a lot of special interest groups. This year we'll do our first birding trip to the Netherlands. So we've got a lot to look forward to.
Birding in the Netherlands.
Who knew?
We do now. And here we are. Are there any tips for someone who, say, hasn't used a travel agency or maybe or is a first-time traveler? What are some pro tips? You've seen it all.
Sure. So my pro tips and some office favorites for flying internationally and traveling internationally are: don't get on a plane without noise-canceling headphones. If anything can make the air experience better these days, it's just tuning all of it out, closing your eyes and using it as a time to unplug and get away. Our owner, Nate, has a great tip for using the safe at hotels. You always see the safe in the closet. A lot of people end up leaving things in it accidentally. And so his tip is he locks one of his shoes in the safe at night, and he can't leave the next day without wearing both shoes.
That's
so
brilliant.
He never forgets his wallet.
It's definitely a pro tip.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
If you want more tips like that, well, guess what? Stop searching online when you're going to go travel. Come talk to people who have been doing it for decades. Witte Travel.